Good morning, everybody. Happy Monday. Meteorologist Jaret Lansford here. As you are preparing to head back to the office, you're getting the kids ready to go back to school today. Going to be a lot more traffic on the roads, and I'm here to guide you through where we're seeing some issues on the roadways and how you can best make that commute go as smooth as possible. So, here over the next 15 minutes or so, we're going to just kind of watch some live areas where we're having some issues and talk about where you can try to avoid those. Let's start with our first crash of the morning, and it is right here. This is 680 southbound. It's between Maple and Blondo, actually right about under, or Maple and Dodge, I should say. It's right about under the Blondo Bridge. Both shoulders are blocked as a result of this. Let me pull up the Nebraska DOT camera and give you a look of this current situation. And you can see here where we have the busy view here with the right shoulder having the flashing lights and the vehicles there. You also have a couple of vehicles on the left shoulder as you're heading through this stretch. So busy situation here right on southbound 680 as you're heading right around Blondo. Okay, so again, that's 680 you're looking at right around Blondo, about halfway between Maple and Dodge. So ongoing situation there, out of traffic, but it is on the shoulder, so pretty busy view that you are looking at there. I'll keep an eye on that, keep you posted with any updates that do come in with that. As you're looking at the maps, you can see traffic is getting through there in pretty decent shape, not much in the way of slowdowns at this point, but we'll continue to monitor as that situation unfolds. You can probably see just off to the south of there where we are looking at the interchange with Dodge slowing down on the ramp. That's a lot of just traffic moving through that very congested area at this point. No issues that have been reported just yet that may be making that worse, but it is definitely going to be a spot where you're running a little slower than you're probably accustomed to. Similar situation near 90th and Dodge. You can see that's the case over toward 84th as well. We do have one more crash here. This is 30th and Hamilton. This one does seem to be in the winding down stage with just northbound now showing some minor delays, whereas that was lit up pretty well with delays about 20 minutes ago or so. But still continue to use caution as you're heading through that stretch just to the west of the North Freeway. I'm going to zoom out here, give you a view of the overall picture of what we're seeing on the map as we're bringing a whole lot of people back onto the roads. JFK had been doing pretty well. Now starting to see some delays as you're approaching I-80. And I think we will check out what we've got going on there with our delays that are showing up in that area. Let's give you a camera view in that area. Well, at least for the time being, we'll give you an idea of some of the speeds while I try to get those cameras to work here. But you can see that it is quite slowed as you're making your way up the JFK northbound. Anywhere you're seeing those oranges, that's an indication of speeds that are maybe around 15 to 25 miles per hour. Does get a little bit better as you are getting closer to L Street and then down to Q Street. But definitely not up to full speed through that entire stretch. Okay, we do have a new crash to tell you about. This is as you're making your way right around the 480 interchange with the I-80. You can see the vehicle there on the left shoulder with that crash. So this is an area you want to use some caution. Another emergency crew arriving on the scene. So watch as you head into that area. You're going 480 right around the JFK with that one. So let me pull up a map view, give you an idea of where that one is. So this is that earlier crash we were talking about. Now getting some delays on 680 southbound with both those shoulders blocked. Continues caution in that area. We'll check back in on that here in just a little bit. But here is the area we're talking about with that one you were just looking at. And it's right around this 480 I-80 interchange where we have that crash that is causing some emergency crews to respond. It's on the left shoulder there. So I believe this is the area where we were looking at with that one. Let me try to confirm here. So yeah, you're looking at some delays that are happening in that area as a result of that crash. With the emergency crews responding right now. So use caution in that area. Again, there's the view of that crash over on the left shoulder, right as traffic is exiting at that ramp. So it kind of gives you the view of where we're talking about right now. Looks like that's right before you get to the I-80 ramp, perhaps. So use some caution in that area. So that's one of the issues that we have. Of course, we also have this crash. This is 680 southbound near Blondo. Both shoulders are blocked as a result of this one. And when we were looking at this one a little bit ago, you're seeing the flashing lights that were on hand as they were working the scene on both shoulders. Starting to get pretty slow right near Maple as a result of that one. So definitely going to want to plan accordingly for there to be some delays. And of course, we've got a lot of people who are back on the roads today. You've got kids going back to the classroom. It's that Monday where we just see things really get busy. So let me show the overall map view. Give you an idea where we have a little bit more difficulties and how you can kind of work your way around those. JFK does look to be the slowest spot right now from about that I-80 interchange. We were looking at that crash that's in place right around I-80 all the way now back past Harrison. So you're getting those delays stretching almost to the Chandler interchange. So be ready for some slow travel there. That crash on the shoulder, but a lot of times when we have traffic really picking up in those areas, you do get things slowing down significantly in that stretch. You've also got that right there, 72nd and L. That's just construction zone. You have people who are using Center as an alternate route, and you do have some delays that are showing up there. And then you also have the 680 and Dodge interchange that's just very busy. You've got quite the delays showing up there. Hopefully we don't start to see this affect traffic on northbound 680 that's trying to take that ramp, as that ramp is very slow at this point to try to get to westbound Dodge. And those are kind of the slowest spots. There is one other thing here I want to make sure gets covered here as we're in this live stream before we kind of circle back to some of these crashes. And this is the impending closure of Farnham. That will be happening over 480 here within a matter of hours. At this point, looks like it is still open, but not an entirely clear time on when that is going to happen, but it does sound like before 10, we will see Farnham closing on the bridge over 480. This is the next phase of that project that we've been talking about with the streetcar. Last year, if you remember, we had the same process take place on Harney, where they closed Harney. They ended up demolishing the bridge and then building that new one. Same thing happening on Farnham this year, and that starts this morning. So let me show you what we've got going on Farnham with that closure. It's scheduled to last through December, and there's the closure right there at 480. You're also going to have some restrictions on the 28th and 29th there, as you're on either side of 480 with some utility work that's going to be happening. That starts today as well. But let's talk some alternate routes that you can use with that closure of Farnham that starts up anytime. And good one is just using Dodge. Pretty straightforward. Use Dodge for westbound traffic. That gets you where you need to go. Another option you can do is to use St. Mary's, and that eventually gets you to Leavenworth, and you can use Leavenworth to continue westward. So a couple of different options there for westward travel as you're making your way through most of 2026. Again, that closure is scheduled to last through December. All right, I think we'll give you one more check around here, show you what's going on with the commute. We are getting some delays that are showing up I-80. That's an interesting spot right around 84th, between 84th and 72nd as you're going eastbound. We do have some sun in our sky, so it is possible we're maybe getting a little bit of some sun glare, but let's see if we have some other issues there that are coinciding with that slowdown on I-80. Not seeing any reports of anything. We'll keep an eye on that. We do have crashes that are in place in two different spots. One on 680 that is really starting to flare up now as you're going through that stretch between Maple and Dodge heading southbound. Both shoulders blocked as a result of this crash, so you are looking at emergency crews on hand. The traffic lanes themselves aren't blocked, but you could see it's definitely affecting traffic as people see that busy scene in place. And you've got speeds that are down now around 35 miles per hour on the interstate. So be ready for those delays to be in place there. And then we've also got this situation we're watching on the JFK and 480 interchange with 80, where things are slowed quite a bit as you're heading northbound. That crash is as you're approaching that split there for the ramps. Let me show you that one. And there it is. You already have a tow truck on hand, so hopefully that helps to get that situation up and running a little bit better here soon. But see, it's a little slow as you go through that stretch there on I-80, or on the JFK at the I-80 interchange. So watch that. That's the left shoulder that is blocked. All right, so again, this is one of two crashes we're watching that are causing delays, and it's this one on 680, where we do have both shoulders blocked as you're heading southbound between Maple and Dodge, and then that other situation is on the JFK right near I-80. Now, we do at least have to where a tow truck is on the scene of this one, so we should see this one starting to improve pretty quickly as that scene gets resolved. But one more showing of the overall map. Been watching those delays on I-80 eastbound around 84th. Looks like those have gotten a little bit better, so good news there. But do watch 680 and the JFK, those being the spots where we're seeing our biggest delays there in the orange. Okay, I think with that, we'll wrap up this live stream. I appreciate you joining me for the last 15 minutes or so. I'm going to get ready for a cut in on First Alert 6, where we'll talk about the latest things that are happening. And of course, as a reminder, you can always stay up to date with the latest on what's happening during the commute, any crashes, any other issues that you need to know about on our traffic blog on firstalert6.com. Enjoy the rest of your day. Have safe travel, and hope you have a great Monday as you return back to your routine.